And they are created by people like you, who understand the need for change, who sense and seize an opportunity and make that change happen. Today, with the Green Party of Canada, we are in a moment when great change can happen, and it is in your hands. You have the chance to elect Elizabeth May as leader of the Green Party of Canada. And by electing her, I believe, create that green shift, that change in all of Canada that we are all so yearning for. Elizabeth is the one with the proven ability to champion the issues that Canadians care about and they want action on, like climate change, getting toxins out of our environment, making sure we have communities that can grow healthy, organic food, eco-forestry, sustainable fisheries, combating and ridding our country of poverty. She has championed these issues, and Canadians know it. She is the one with the charisma, the passion, and the drive to draw thousands and thousands of Canadians into our party and to lead our country to a greener path. We are, in my mind, so lucky to have Elizabeth May decide that she would offer herself to us as a leader. And it is an offer. She has an Order of Canada. She is the recipient of dozens of awards, including from the United Nations Environment Program and the Global 500 Award. She has 2 honorary doctorates in her name, a chair in research at a university named after her. She is a woman who the world recognizes as a leader. She is a lawyer whose first case was to fight the aerial spraying of Agent Orange over the forests of Nova Scotia. Using her family farm but not giving up. She is a woman and an activist who is fighting to save our planet, at the same time as writing a book about saving our planet in her spare time, no less, and simultaneously, as a single mother, raising the most remarkable young woman, Victoria Kate, as her daughter. I have known Elizabeth May for 21 years. She mentored me into politics. She is a born green leader. I am thrilled and honored to nominate Elizabeth May as leader of the Green Party of Canada. I am voting for her because her values match mine. She champions the issues I care about the most. And I believe she will get the Green Party into the national leaders debate, and how could they refuse her? And perform so brilliantly that she will draw the people into our party and Canada onto that greener path. I ask every single one of you to seize this opportunity and elect Elizabeth May, the next leader of the Green Party of Canada. I give you Elizabeth May. For some of you, your knowledge of my background lies solely in my work as Executive Director of the Sierra Club of Canada. I'm certainly proud of that record. But I've also practiced law, both in a big downtown corporate law firm and in a public interest law firm. I have run a business, a small business perhaps, but it employed 35 people in a small village in Cape Breton. I've been on the board of several multi-million-dollar organizations. In 1980, I founded the small party from which the Green Party of Canada was formed. In 1980, described in the local media as the 23-year-old waitress running against the Deputy Prime Minister, I ran against Alan J. McCacken. I admit I didn't have a lot of expectations of winning. Next time I will. As a job applicant, what skills can I offer you in the Green Party? In brief, my track record shows an ability to build an organization, taking Sierra Club of Canada from an organization with no actual office or national presence in 1989 to an established and respected organization today. From my first budget in 1989 of $10,000 to this year's budget of over $3 million, from one part-time staff member, me, to today nationally across Canada within 5 different chapters and a very vibrant and exciting Sierra Youth Coalition, a staff of over 60. Now, of course, no one could possibly accomplish so much single-handed. I worked with literally hundreds of volunteers across Canada, and I was always available to them. My daughter can attest to this. She's always said, Mom, you worked 24/7. The Green Party can't be any worse. I worked with a terrific national board and a great team of staff. In fact, the people I worked with at Sierra Club are really and became immediately my family. I must say, if you're watching at home, boy, I really miss you. And I urge everybody watching at home or in this audience to continue to support Sierra Club of Canada. We need strong NGOs in all the different sectors. And in that light, I just want to mention Fair Vote Canada, which is also here today with a table for the Green Party. Fair Vote Canada. I can't resist plugging other groups in the time I have to explain why you should vote for me. But I do suggest you go to www.sierraclub.ca and join there, and also www.fairvotecanada.ca in order to ensure that we have the strong teamwork of many, many million Canadians pushing for electoral reform and proportional representation and playing the sword of electoral dysfunction. But in this long job application process, I have to point out a few of my skills. And it's worth noting that I have more managerial skills and more of a track record of team building and more fundraising skills than the other applicants. I'm also clearly the candidate with the greatest familiarity with the workings of government. I was in a key position in the federal government from 1986 to 1988, and I have worked closely with governments, local, provincial, federal, and First Nations for decades. J'étais dans un poste cadre dont l'équipe de ministres de l'Environnement pendant 2 ans. Je connais bien l'appareil gouvernemental et j'ai eu beaucoup de succès. Ma vie m'a très bien préparée pour devenir un bon chef. In terms of the Green Party leadership's job description, the primary role is spokesperson and communicator. I like to see it in more catalytic terms, communicating a vision of hope, mobilizing and motivating and inspiring people to yearn for a better world. It is for the Green Party to set out that vision. We read in the old Hebrew Proverbs 29:18, without vision, the people perish. That is the role of leadership, to put forward a vision. The great Canadian economist and humanitarian John Kenneth Galbraith wrote of leadership, all great leaders have had one characteristic in common. It is the willingness to confront unequivocally the major anxiety of their people in their time. That is the role for the Green Party. Leadership, as practiced by the old line parties, consists of polling and focus groups to divine what they believe the people want to hear. Paddling for the masses, short-term policies geared to a politician's notion of people's short-term self-interest. The Green Party must set forth a more ennobling vision, one that faces the major threats of our time: the climate crisis, economic instability, increasing militarism, and yes, the failure to live up to commitments by the big nuclear powers to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and a growing gap between the rich and the poor. And we must face these threats with clear-eyed realism. The Green Party must come forward with practical solutions, down-to-earth policies. We must be willing to engage Canadians in the positive changes that are essential in order to bequeath to our children a livable world. We must be prepared to take the great risk of investing in hope, because we cannot afford despair. Consider our place in Earth history. This metaphor comes from another friend of mine, Ray Anderson, the former CEO at Interface Flooring. And he said, you know, if you took the 3.8 billion year history of life on Earth and placed it on a timeline 1 kilometer long, humanity, us, we make our appearance 2 centimeters from the end of that 1 kilometer line. The Industrial Revolution begins 1/8,000th of a centimeter from the end of that line. And yet, in a breathtakingly short period of time, less than the blink of a cosmic eye, a once unexceptional species, hairless apes on a vast savanna, we have become the dominant force for change on the face of the earth. We have taken the life-giving, life-creating, life-nurturing systems of planet Earth and pushed them into reverse. We are polluting our life support system with toxic chemicals with generational impacts. We have caused the largest episode of species extinction since the large event that took out the dinosaurs. We have weakened and thinned the ozone layer. Thank God we do have a Montreal Protocol working to ameliorate this problem as we speak, but we still have weakened the ozone layer that protects us from the sun's most harmful rays. And by burning fossil fuels and destroying forests, we have changed the very chemistry of our atmosphere. We are in a climate crisis. We stand at a precipice in human history. As noted in the Earth Charter, it's a document I hope will be officially endorsed by this party through policy resolutions. As noted in the Earth Charter, this is a moment of great peril, but also of great promise. Trend lines are not predictions. Trends can be shifted. Catastrophe can be averted. We can beat swords into plowshares. We can shift from life-destroying to life-nourishing technology. On doit se réveiller et poursuivre une vision durable et saine. We must have and share the vision of a better world, a world where children can play in the sun without UV warnings, a world where children can go out to play without warnings of smog, air problems, and asthma, where our streets are safe and our cities cease to be designed around the car and are designed around the child. We must express that a better world, in the words of the World Social Forum, a better world is possible. Some speak of politics as the art of the possible. For us as Greens, we must embrace the art of the impossible. become leader, I dedicate my time as leader in her memory. I worked with Petra Kelly on the World Women's Congress for a Healthy Planet at the beginning of the 1990s, when we thought the 90s could be the turnaround decade. Petra's one of my heroes and founder of the Green Party in Germany, and I want to share with you her words about what's possible. She wrote, quote, "We, the generation that faces the next century, can add the solemn injunction. If we don't do the impossible, we shall be faced with the unthinkable. We can, we must, turn this world around. We have no other choice." I ask for your support. Thank you.